Hey, my name is Danielle Lincoln Hanna, and I'm the author of the Mailboat suspense series. I learned to read and write when I was 4, which at the end of the day probably saved my life. I was isolated, neglected, and abused as a child, but the characters who let me escape through their stories also became my only peers, mentors, and guardians. Now I write stories about trauma, abuse, and mental health, hoping to help other people. And now I'd like you to meet my boyfriend.
Hi, my name is Charles William McClay. I'm a former ranch kid from Montana who has worn a lot of hats over the years and lived in a lot of fun places, from South Korea to Wisconsin. And I am currently an aspiring screenwriter, three-time screenwriting contest semifinalist, and author who teaches college English. And now, without further ado,
The Mailboat series is the story of a found family overcoming trauma while a streak of murders ravages a lakeside tourist town near Chicago. Bailey, an abused teen in foster care, dreams of being adopted by the most reliable man she knows, Captain Tommy. For nearly 50 years, Tommy has helmed the locally famous tour boat that delivers the mail around posh Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. But the outwardly calm captain failed his now fugitive son and is convinced he's the last person Bailey needs. When jumping from the boat, Bailey plunges into the water, and the charts of their lives are altered forever when Bailey discovers a submerged body with ties to Tommy's past. The dark discovery reels Bailey and Tommy in toward others, including Lake Geneva's finest. Dubiously represented by Playboy Ryan, who gave up his rank in a big city PD to take a seasonal job as a bicycle cop in his hometown. He never pictured he'd end up saving a teenage girl from her abusive foster dad, nor did he plan on landing in the same department as his ex-wife. Meanwhile, police detective Monica has darker depths to plumb than her ex, like catching the murderer. And frankly, it doesn't matter to her that Ryan's finally getting his act together. He'll never forgive the secret she kept from him. To complicate matters, Bailey's foster father, Bud, is a hitman for the man upstairs, Lake Geneva's local crime boss. The way Bud sees it, that doesn't prevent him from pursuing side gigs, like eliminating anyone threatening to rehome Bailey. But if Bud's not careful, he will become the hunted. The man upstairs delights in toying with lost souls. Mailboat combines dark suspense with an ensemble cast's heart-tugging, intertwined stories. It's all set against an idyllic maritime town that lives and breathes like a character in its own right. There are currently 5 novels and 1 novella in the popular Mailboat suspense series, which has already drawn Hollywood interest and would be ideally suited for a streaming series or show. Thank you for listening to our pitch.